Hey, welcome to Screenplay Junkie. My name's Drew Hellmich, and I love screenwriting and everything there is about movies. But before anything makes it to the screen, it always begins with text on paper. So if you're a fellow addict of film and storytelling, join my brothers, Matt and Bryan, and I as we take a look at various types of screenplays, short stories, and other source material that were crucial to the creation of the stories we all love. There will be spoilers, though, so I do recommend being familiar with the title that's being discussed. Sound good? All right, then let's get started. Welcome back, fellow story addicts, to Screenplay Junkie episode number 55. Drew, Matt, and Bryan here, and we all need haircuts.
Badly, very.
I think starting next week we can get haircuts.
Yeah,
That's like
Really?
a real,
Okay, that's
it's a
interesting.
real thing.
All my hair is out of whack, at least for me right now.
I think a lot of people, I mean, if you're listening to this right now, you probably need a haircut as well, right?
I'd
Right?
assume so, unless you got like your home cuts going on.
I've heard a lot of horror stories about home haircuts. I've heard a lot of bad stuff. Like nothing has gone well.
A lot of bowl cuts?
Yes. I mean, Bryan, your friend gave himself a bowl cut on purpose.
He purposely did, and he hasn't fixed it since.
He did it for the clout. How did it work out for him? Did he post it on Instagram?
No, he's just a total goof, so that's the total reason he gave himself a bowl cut.
Okay, that works. I mean, last night I had a dream that the barber gave me a really bad haircut, so this is affecting even myself in my dreams. I don't know why.
So it was a nightmare? It was a bad dream?
Yeah, it was a nightmare, I would say, probably. I don't understand.
Bowl cut gone wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a bowl cut. I don't remember the haircut specifically, but all I remember is getting a haircut and just being horrified about it. I mean, it's just hair, right?
No tip, right? Did not leave that hairdresser a tip.
No, I still paid him $20.
Damn. Wow.
So that
generous.
That was probably the worst part about it. Anyways, we got the Will Ferrell sport comedy Semi-Pro today, basketball movie. So the first question I have for you guys is, what's the first memory that comes to mind of when you played organized basketball?
Definitely the pictures when you go on like a Saturday morning.
Oh, like picture day?
Or like
when you have to get up way too early.
way
and then,
too early.
like,
Your hair,
stand in
you don't know
line.
what's going on. You all look unathletic.
Yeah. The lights are just so bright and they're just flashing in your face every few seconds. And you don't want to be the guy that has to like kneel down. You want to be standing up in the picture.
Yeah.
I forgot about those days.
I remember dunking. That'd probably be my first basketball.
Yeah,
move.
dunking.
Impossible.
Okay, get out of here.
I never said on a 10-foot rim. I said just on like a little play rim, maybe in the backyard, on the driveway, something like that. But yeah,
Okay.
Nerf hoop above the
throwing
door
it
frame.
down.
That's what he said.
So not organized basketball, just like blacktop basketball or something like that. Okay, cool. Mine was I didn't start playing basketball until I was in 6th grade because I was more of a baseball person. But I remember the first game I was on the Trailblazers. This is when the district we played for allowed NBA like type jerseys. They were kind of cool.
It's so sad that they don't do that anymore. That you can't use NBA team logos on your jersey.
Yeah.
It was nice though,
bullshit.
because like for my high school years, we switched over to like college, which is still kind of cool. But the NBA teams are sweet.
Yeah, I like that idea. But it was our first game, and I didn't know anything about basketball, and the coach was like, "Drew, go. You're playing forward." So we run out into the court, and I say to my teammate, "What's forward? I don't know what that is. Like, what do I do?" And he's like, "Oh, just stand in the corner and just run around." So that's what I did. But at the end of the game, I scored a game-winning shot. So that was pretty awesome.
In your first game?
In my first game, yeah.
Why would they give you the ball?
I don't know. I have no idea. I just kind of threw it up there, and it went
just
in,
ended
so.
up in your hands. You just launched it.
Yeah, and it went in. I mean, I was right.
It's a sweet story,
I was right under the basket. If I missed it,
Okay.
that would have been awful. But
Get buckets.
yeah, that's it, man. Okay, let's plug that IMDb info for this one.
Yeah, all right. We have Semi-Pro. Came out in 2008. I guess it came out in February 2008. So, yeah, I don't know really how I feel about that.
It coming out in February.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's
That's
I love
NBA
it.
season's going
yeah.
on. It's like, I guess that's when the NBA season actually gets like exciting because it's like getting towards the end
But
of
when
the
you
year.
think about it, the movie
playoffs
is-
are coming around the corner.
They're really pushing love throughout this movie too. Along
There's
with
basketball.
So it's suiting. It fits the February Valentine's Day vibes, I guess.
I think that's exactly what they were going for.
This is a Valentine's Day movie, you think? You would watch this, as in like a romantic fashion?
Come on, you just play Love Me Sexy, and I think every girl would be just
loving it. They would be loving it.
They'd be loving you
absolutely
sexy.
be loving it.
That you wrapped that up perfectly, I think.
All right, here's the log line. Jackie Moon, the owner, player, coach of the American Basketball Association's Flint, Michigan Tropics, rallies his teammates to make their NBA dreams come true. Mm-hmm. I love the idea of this taking place around like an ABA-NBA merger. I think that's such a it actually happened, and then they just came in and wrote this ridiculous movie about it. I love that as like a plot point.
I like the ABA thing too, but as we get into it,
is it the American Basketball Association?
Something
I think
like
so.
that, yeah.
Because the National Basketball Association.
Yeah,
okay.
that makes sense.
This movie was directed by Kent Alterman, and oddly enough, this is the only movie he's ever directed, which is that is beyond bizarre to me. It's like, how do you've only directed one thing, and it's like a giant movie, nothing else.
So he has no other
Relatively
directing
good
credits
shot.
at
He has
all.
zero. He just has production credits, like as a producer.
Oh,
This guy's kind of fascinating. I'll talk more about him later. But the movie was written by Scot Armstrong, who's a Chicago guy. Starring in the movie Will Ferrell, Woody Harrelson, Andre Benjamin, who's Andre 3000 from Outkast, Maura Tierney, Will Arnett, Andy Richter, Rob Corddry. There's a ton of like familiar faces.
yeah, a lot
in
of
this movie.
people. Yeah,
Yeah, good. Like you've seen them in plenty of like comedy movies together.
All right, let's hop over to the trivia. Brian, you got this one?
I do. I'll take it again. Okay, so like we were saying earlier, the soundtrack, Love Me Sexy, largely came about from Will Ferrell's first table read of the script. So director Kent Alterman sent leading record producer Nile Rodgers a recording of an improv that Ferrell did on the day on set, and boom, Rodgers just comes back with the song built around that. So pretty
That's
remarkable
ridiculous.
just having like the "You gotta love me sexy" going, and then you just get sent back this like platinum track. It's honestly
It's an official song. Like I love the like the horns in it and just like its
it works.
feel.
Mhm. And Will Ferrell just has a good voice.
It makes you want to dance. Yeah, and Will Ferrell's a great singer. He got his start, I think, doing theater
That's
Yeah.
pretty amazing. Yeah,
in like high school.
the song's on Spotify, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's got millions of plays. That's why literally I decided to do this movie because that song randomly popped in my head. And I was like, oh yeah, Love Me Sexy. And I listened to it. And I'm like, oh, that's a funny movie. We should do it.
So in the film, Jackie Moon says he's never vomited before, and he's always telling Monix that he's like, I can't puke. Like my mom said, it was a miracle. But in real life, Will Ferrell suffered from pyloric stenosis, which is a condition as a child that causes frequent vomiting.
That sounds horrible.
So in real life, he was just puking all the time.
All the time. He could not control the puke valve, it sounds.
Weak stomach. I mean, I wonder what is the worst time he ever vomited? Like, what was the situation and he just puked like on somebody or at in a bad place?
Are you talking about in the movie or in real
No,
life?
for him in real life.
As throughout his just life of throwing up randomly all the time.
Yeah,
I have a story of when I threw up randomly on someone.
sure.
Here we go.
I was playing football, and every game I'd be really nervous in the beginning, and like so I would have to get hit or like make that first hit to get rid of the butterflies. And I made a tackle on a special teams play to start the game, and I threw up on the kid as I tackled him.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
dude.
it was horrifying. I just like ran right after, so I was like, I hope he didn't notice it was me that tackled him. But yeah, that kid, tough start for the game for him.
Barf tail.
Just getting rocked and then getting puked on too.
All right, let's go back to trivia here. So this one's kind of cool. It's just a little fun fact. So during the Tropics game against the San Antonio Spurs, the sideline radio station reads WAOI, and these are the same letters and station that is used to this day. So from like the time of, I'm assuming when like the ABA and like those games are going on, this is the same radio station. So they've been in luck and in business.
Okay, I thought it was like a fictional. I thought you were saying it was a fictional radio station.
I thought you were about to like spin that into like a support your local businesses.
No,
type
it was just I thought that was pretty interesting to be around for that long.
I mean, radio stations do change names all the time.
Yeah.
They change hands frequently.
I mean, this one's pretty wild here. Save the best for last. So in April 2008, Rocky the grizzly bear, this is also known as Dewey, the
bear from the movie,
the action bear in the movie, correct? Dewey. He actually kills one of his trainers named Stephen Miller.
Wait, hold on, back it up. Wait, what?
Okay. This bear Dewey, like, of course, he has like trainers.
Killed someone?
Has trainers that are like help, I guess, if you want to train these types of animals that make them sit, lay down, listen to their owner. He mauled and killed one of them. This was after the shooting.
Attached to the movie?
No, this was
Okay.
not. That was. I had to read more on it, and it's after the movie.
Will Ferrell dodged
Sad,
the bullet
so
there.
sad.
This bear
If he
had
was
a lot of
actually,
anger built
if he
up
was
inside,
actually
I
wrestling
guess.
him, or that was all CGI.
I don't know. That's wild, though. The bear's a murderer. And I feel like this is a story we've all heard before, too, like where it's like, oh, wild animal trainer gets killed by a wild animal.
IMDb made
Yes.
sure that they threw at the end by biting him on the neck.
Oh, right in the jugular. I mean, Tiger
just
King,
had to
right?
give
Like,
it to
didn't
him.
that one guy get his arm bit off in Tiger King or something?
Yeah.
It's just, like, we've heard this before. I don't know why people keep trying to train giant animals and, like, make them their friends. They're wild animals.
People want to, they're attracted to exotic things. They want to be different, I guess. I mean, yeah, you've heard stories like that with chimpanzees and crocodiles and whatever. Insert animal here, but yeah. Doesn't make any
I
sense,
don't know,
man.
just give up. Like,
Please
get a dog, get a cat, just get a goldfish, right?
yeah, PSA, get a
That's
goldfish.
fun. Those are fun.
Anything that just like doesn't bite, honestly.
Not a wild bear.
No, definitely not a wild bear. But I mean, if you're Will Ferrell and you were had to wrestle this wild bear, it was trained though. Would you? Would you be able
Like
to,
as an actor?
Would you
Like,
be able
would
to,
you
like,
agree?
as an actor, or just like physically be able to take on a bear?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, as long as it's trained.
Wow.
As long as it has a muzzle on it and it's sedated.
Sedated.
I can't attack you at that point.
I love how everything just went against the previous comments.
Yeah, I mean,
There's no chance.
I would fight a bear if it was trained, but I don't want anyone to train the bear. It's kind of a contradiction, but
Okay, so we didn't read the script. We just watched the movie, so we're just going to talk about the movie.
Wait, you guys didn't read the script?
I didn't
What
even
did
look
you
for one,
think?
actually.
That was a joke.
this would have been kind of a cool one to read.
Yeah.
We
Just
could
because,
find,
like I said,
I
like
think.
this whole idea of the merger is cool. Like it would have been interesting to see what Jackie Moon was like before Will Ferrell got a hold of him.
Yeah. Yeah, to see what the character would have looked like before. Yeah, exactly.
Well, shame on us, I guess. It was Memorial Day weekend.
still find it.
I mean, we didn't have. We were busy, doing other things.
We can still find it. But anyways, okay, so this movie is about the final season of the ABA, and it's that the Spurs, the Nets, the Nuggets, and the Pacers will merge into the NBA because they have the best markets. But
fans.
Jackie Moon, Farrell's character, motions that the 4 best teams should go into the NBA. So their goal is to come into at least 4th place. But at the end, it doesn't really matter anyway. But Matt, you said you had the other ABA teams that existed?
These are just some of the teams that have existed in the ABA, whether it was the year that like said movie is taking place or like all the years before that. So there's like the Anaheim Amigos.
Sounds cool.
The Jazz came out of this, I guess. The St. Louis Spirits, the Carolina Cougars, Houston Mavericks, Minnesota Muskies, the
Ooh.
Kentucky Colonels, the Miami Floridians,
Oh.
the Miami Floridians. Wow.
No
that
creativity.
mean?
The
Seriously.
most boring name ever. Louisiana Buccaneers, the Baltimore Hustlers. That's a cool one.
Yeah.
The New York Nets, right? We said the Nets.
Yeah.
The Oakland Americans. We're more American than you.
Oh, man.
The Pittsburgh Pipers. And the San Diego Conquistadors.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
very
some of
nice.
those are pretty
There's some good
names,
ones in there, yeah.
I think my favorite one is the Kentucky Colonels because KFC, right?
Ooh,
Their
Colonel
mascot-
Sanders.
damn, dude. That's like a branding. That's
Do you
just
think
like
their mascot would be-
synergy on that one,
Is
man.
Colonel Sanders or just a fried chicken leg?
Yeah, I think
Probably
a chicken
owns
leg.
Chicken leg.
They don't even shoot hoops with a basketball. They shoot it with fried chicken. That's how they practice.
Dunk this bucket.
I know you want to talk a little bit more about the guy who wrote this movie, Matt.
Yeah, so the guy who wrote it, like I said, he's from Chicago. His name's Scot Armstrong. This movie had nothing to do with Will Ferrell before, like, this guy brought it to Will, I guess. This writer has other credits such as, like, Old School, Road Trip, School for Scoundrels, Starsky and Hutch, Hangover Part 2, I guess. And I guess he, like, did uncredited writing on Elf and Bad Santa. So he
Okay.
knew where...
Has a plug of Will Ferrell.
Yes,
Has
he knew Ferrell from
Okay.
Elf, and then he probably wrote this movie and then had Will Ferrell in mind. I mean, I'm only speculating, but it's just kind of crazy that he got this entire idea. I always assumed Will Ferrell like made up this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always,
same.
just because. But yeah, this guy I guess used to do improv at Second City in Chicago.
That's cool.
And I would just like to really ask him, like, how the hell did you come up with this? Because it's such a cool story idea. And then I want to talk about this director, too, because like I said earlier, Kent Alterman, the guy who directed this, This is the only movie he's ever directed in his entire career.
It's truly amazing, honestly.
That's it. It makes no sense. To me, it makes no sense. But I guess he's a producer. And get this, like the last 10 years or so, I think just last year he lost his job. He was the president of Comedy Central.
So he really worked his way.
He was overseeing all those shows. Like he wasn't
Making
writing
decisions,
them,
yeah.
but he was like making all the decisions. I guess
of like what gets aired, maybe, or like what
Basically,
we signed
yeah.
to a Comedy Central.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy, yeah.
So he just doesn't write comedy. He just knows comedy. I guess. Like how does that make sense?
What works and like what doesn't.
Apparently,
He's just a businessman.
yeah, kind of.
Basically.
I mean, look at this. He like all these shows he had something to do with on Comedy Central. Broad City, Drunk History, Key and Peele, the Amy Schumer's thing, the Chris Hardwick at Midnight show, Nathan For You, which is hilarious, Jim Jeffries, Workaholics,
Wow.
Another Period, Review, like all those. And I guess he was a big key voice in selecting Trevor Noah to host the Daily Show once Jon Stewart left.
Okay.
So this guy is just like he's big guns in terms of like the comedy world.
Yeah, seriously. I'm surprised he didn't direct anything else.
It's so weird. It really makes no sense. I mean, because he did a great job.
Maybe
I
one
love
and
that.
done, you know?
Some of the basketball shots, like where they're like overhead, like bird's eye view. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense that he's a producer because he's in charge of like putting these kind of projects together. But I mean, yeah, the director thing is really obscure.
It's
to me.
wild, yeah. It makes no sense. But those are the two real people I wanted to talk about. Now we can start talking about these fictional characters, like Jackie Moon.
Yeah, let's transition into the movie. So,
Love me so
so who is Jackie Moon, guys? Who is this guy that Will Ferrell plays?
He's a planet. No, I'm joking. He's just like one of those like 70s all about himself, basically. He's got this giant ego.
Is this the 70s or is it the 80s? I really
70s.
Okay,
It's the 70s.
It's the 70s.
Yeah. But I mean, he's got a great fake name, Jackie Moon.
Yeah, and like everything, his entire fame, like everything about Jackie Moon is because of "Love Me Sexy." He like had a #1 hit,
Yes.
and he made a bunch of money.
Yeah,
And
and he buys the Flint Tropics with that money.
Right.
Yes.
And I love in the movie too. He says like he never even knew how to play basketball. He just figured he could just learn.
Like even the Flint Tropics, I feel like this just again with the movie and coming with these ideas. Like I own a Will Ferrell Jackie Moon Flint Tropics jersey.
Yeah, it's like
because the jerseys are sweet. And
they're
it's
never
just-
going to go out of style.
No,
like college campuses everywhere, kids are going to wear those.
You see, I had no idea when we were watching this. I was like, "Oh, were the Flint Tropics an actual team?" I have no idea. The Flint Tropics are not a real team.
No,
Because I mean, the name of itself, Tropics, right? A tropical place.
in Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan, which is a Midwestern industrial city that experiences all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And basketball would be played here during dark, cold winter months.
Yeah.
So it's like the farthest thing from a tropical paradise.
they had to do that on purpose.
Yeah. But Jackie, so he's the owner of the Tropics.
Right.
He's the starting power forward or something,
Head
right?
coach.
Yep,
He's
power
the head coach. He's
Promoter.
he's the promoter, the pregame announcer, halftime shows.
He's everything.
Like, I was thinking about this. He's basically what you are when you play a franchise in a video game. Because you get to do everything.
The face of the league, yeah. Or the team.
Like the team is just his toy. He's just like a rich guy, and this is just one of his toys that he likes
Yeah,
to play with.
exactly.
Honestly. I mean, something we have here too is that Jackie Moon is like one of the most self-absorbed, like egotistical, self-centered characters that I've ever seen in a movie. Like any of us have ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, everything is about him. Like he can't even admit that he's a bad coach. They have to like work their way around it to make him like feel good about it.
Uh-huh.
And like Will Ferrell always plays like a baby character,
A giant
like that.
baby.
Yeah,
he
like-
does it so well and everything.
Like him and Step Brothers is basically like the core of every single character he really plays.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part.
Yeah.
But it always works.
Yo, totally.
Yeah, he's just more about Jackie Moon. He sings his own songs, like just
And plays them, yeah.
at like during the games or later on at
At the
clubs,
club,
and people
at the
still
club.
like love it. It's like ridiculous, dude.
People love Jackie Moon. Everybody love everybody. That's his slogan.
So if he was a video game character, what would his rating be in 2K?
Horrible.
You don't think he'd be
He's not a good basketball
like an
player.
85,
I mean, his
86?
free throws, 99.
True.
He didn't really ever appear to be like a good basketball player. Like in terms of like the footage from the movie, did Jackie Moon look athletic to you?
No.
Hell no. Only Andre 3000 like looked athletic.
What's
Yeah.
true.
Okay, let's talk about his marketing campaigns though, because he's an incredible promoter. I'd say he's a pretty good businessman who can draw a crowd, but he never follows through with his promises.
Clearly does not.
Basically, all of his promotions are designed to fail. Like he's like, there's no way this will happen, so we'll just say it, and then there's no way it'll happen. Such as like the corn dog thing, right? Like score 125 points, free corn dogs for everyone. And he's blocking his own teammates so they don't score 125.
Yeah.
It's great. It's hilarious.
I think that's probably my favorite part of the movie.
It arguably is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
He's doing that, and I mean, what some other stuff that he does is the win 10K with a shot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They like pick like, I don't know, like the town drunk, like just some hippie dude, druggy guy, and he falls asleep, and then they wake him back up, and as soon as he snaps back awake, he launches a shot that swishes.
A perfect shot.
Perfect.
Yeah. That's like another one of the funniest parts, like how that storyline has to take place throughout the entire movie. This hippie just being like, "Where's my money, Jackie Moon?"
And then the bear fight, of course, like we were talking earlier.
Yeah, the murderous bear.
The murderous bear.
That situation was way more dangerous than anyone thought it was at the time.
But this isn't the only bear that Will Ferrell's fought before
In movies,
in a movie.
Anchorman.
Correct.
But he didn't really fight it in that. His dog really did all the fighting, or it
like
wasn't really
talks
fighting.
it, yeah.
It was words.
But he gets. I think he has. Like,
But there
his
was a
fist-
bear in it, I
Yeah, he
guess.
has,
Words.
he has his fist up. I think like he's gonna fight him.
Okay, I don't know, but that conflict was settled with words, and I think we can all learn something from that.
Everybody love everybody.
Okay.
Everybody love everybody. Exactly.
And then we got the costume halftime show where they're like dressed as stars
Yeah,
and
like
moons
flamingos
oh yeah, flamingos or
and
something.
palm trees.
I mean, this is just
seahorses.
choreography at its finest.
Yeah. Jackie Moon again,
Jackie
showing
Moon
his
again.
promotional skills, filling seats.
I mean,
In Flint,
he
Michigan.
sells the stadium for the final playoff game.
Yeah,
against
Flint,
the
Michigan
Spurs.
Mega Bowl.
Mhm. Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl.
They had a tank.
Wait, what is it called again?
The Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl.
Oh my god!
I said it at the same
outta
time.
here,
That was
dude.
electric,
Jesus.
man. That was electric.
I could just tell its importance by how you guys said that in unison.
It's the battle for fourth place.
All right, and then the next guy we got is Monix, and this is Woody Harrelson's character. I don't even know why Woody Harrelson is in this movie.
Just because he was in White Guys Can't Jump, so that's why.
White men can't jump.
So he's in another basketball
Which
movie.
he
Okay.
looked, in that movie, he looks like he has basketball skills. In this movie, he just looks old and immobile, and like his shot is
His shot's
whack.
pretty bad.
It's so ugly, and he doesn't even look like he can leave the ground really when he moves.
I mean, his trade value was pretty high.
He was he got traded for a washing machine,
So he's an old player.
which that had to create a lot of problems. I mean,
But
let's not
he
just
has an
overlook
NBA
that. Like
championship
now, they were
ring, though.
all wearing dirty uniforms day in and day out. They couldn't wash their uniforms.
True.
Good strategy. You know, the players won't want to defend you if
Oh,
you smell bad.
yeah, that actually does make kind of sense. That's a good point.
So Monix is an old player. He played in the NBA for the Celtics and won
A championship.
won a
Got a
championship.
ring.
And basically, his path through the movie is that he becomes the coach, persuades Jackie that he should be the coach because he's just knows the game more, has
The
better
X's
IQ,
and O's is what they called it.
and he helps lead them to fourth place.
And he's like a role model for Clarence,
Yes,
Yeah.
who's, Coffee Black, Jumping Johnny Johnson, Sugar Dunkerton, Downtown Funky Stuff Malone, ultimately Coffee Black. But yeah, awesome fake names for this Clarence character.
a lot of egos.
Yeah.
A lot of alter egos.
Definitely.
That must be a nightmare of trying to change your name with the.
Like-
I don't even know who you go through, but
If you were like his number one fan, you're like a kid, and you're like, I just got Downtown Funky Malone's, jersey, and then boom, next day he changes it to Coffee Black, and your jersey is now worthless. That'd be tough to keep up with.
But Coffee Black eventually gets to play in the NBA for the Spurs,
Right.
according to the story.
He gets a contract, yeah, which it looks like he deserves it because when they invent the alley-oop and he's doing all those dunks and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
he looked like he was a freak.
Yeah. All right, let's just talk about that right now because that was one of the things we wanted to talk about, the invention of the alley-oop. And it's kind of funny that they weave that into the movie because it made me actually think, well, how actually was the invention of the alley-oop? How did it come about? So, Brian, I think you did a little research, and what did you find?
So the invention of the alley-oop actually kind of makes sense for time frame for this movie because it was invented for basketball first in the 1960s in college play, of us throwing the ball from one player to another and dunking it into the hoop. But before that, the alley-oop was derived from a French term, allez-oop.
Alley-oop.
And this is the cry of a circus acrobat about to leap. So
Okay.
them doing trapeze or like
So
backflips or
alley
front
oops
flips.
started in the circus.
Alley zoop.
I guess
That
that's
was
why
like
they call it
the-
a circus
good
play.
point.
I dig it.
Dunk. Yeah, that's cool.
But also, it appeared in the 1950s by the San Francisco 49ers.
Football. What?
Football, correct. And this is a term of throwing a pass from the quarterback to a wide receiver.
What? That
Oh,
just
yeah.
sounds like a pass.
It says here, it says a high arcing pass. So it's like
A
a,
high
real
arcing
high
pass.
pass. Okay, alley oop. All right.
I've never referred to that. I mean, I like it. It
Alley
works.
oops. Jolly good, sir.
Alley oop definitely hit homes for basketball.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, that's the only thing it's like referenced with nowadays, an alley oop. Like, that's basketball. There's nothing else that alley oop is associated with.
Yeah, no.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's definitely a basketball term. But what do you guys think overall of the basketball scenes in this movie? Were you did you think they were believable, or did you think they were fake looking?
I like it. I think they did a good job, like in terms of making the players and actors look legit,
Yeah.
and just the way they shot it, maybe to like hide things or whatever. Like the scenes of the alley oops is sick. It's hilarious
Yeah.
watching his feet like float in the air. It's really funny. So I think they did a really good job.
I think the basketball scenes are my favorite parts of the movie. I wanted to see more of that.
Yeah,
More
honestly,
about
it would have
them.
been fun. Yeah, if they did show more on the court stuff.
Yeah, like once they started going into Monix's like subplot with that woman, I was like, I don't care about this. Like, what is the point? They're like their romance like made no sense.
love
It's
me
a fair
sexy.
argument. It's just
Everybody
like
love everybody.
yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, or it's just like Monix has to. He's such like a loser. Honestly, he's like playing in the ABA and he used to be on the Celtics. And he got traded for a washing machine for Christ's sake.
Well, didn't he? I'm assuming he wanted to go back to Flint for the girl. That's why he
yeah,
probably took that trade.
that's probably why he
Yeah,
gave the trade.
that makes. I understand that, but yeah, we can.
I guess
talk about
they just
that
had to give a
'cause-
reason to have like him there, and the girl's the only reason. So I guess that's why the plot exists. But
Yeah.
it is kind of dumb, and the whole fact that her brother likes to watch them like have sex, like that shit was
Yeah, it's
weird.
weird. I don't know why that was needed.
They should have completely cut that out. There was no spot.
It's just
for that, dude.
weird.
It's so weird, man. Yeah. I also like the timeout fight. That was pretty good.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It made me
Commercial
think
break.
like back in the day, did stuff like that actually happen? Like players would
Maybe.
know, oh, it's a timeout break. Now I can say or do whatever the hell I want.
Probably.
Maybe an option. Yeah.
I mean, maybe even today a little bit, but I don't know about that because there's cameras everywhere now. What kind of jokes do you guys liked in this movie?
I don't know if I like have like specific ones where I want to like say like, oh, like that was funny or this was, but I
Yeah.
found myself laughing a lot as I watched this, like a ton.
Yeah.
So this movie for me works like really well.
I second that.
It
Like,
always
I
gets
think,
me.
Like scenes. I don't know if I really want to choose one, but like of course, corn dog, jive turkey. I love that. That's a good, funny part of the movie.
So what's jive turkey?
What is a jive turkey?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a slang term for an individual who is prone to exaggerating the truth greatly or just an outright liar.
And that's like that word is said, and I had no idea what it means. So thank you for
Jive
saying
turkey.
that. Yeah, jive turkey.
Yeah, that was from Urban Dictionary, and I guess it was used predominantly in the 1970s.
So,
it makes sense.
So it was an
It's-
insult.
it's
or like
accurate,
Something
yeah.
you call like your friend if he was lying or whatever. But that whole scene when they're just like sitting around and like doing nothing, playing cards, drinking, and hanging out, like to me that's one of the funniest parts of the movie. Just because it's like it's pointless. Like it serves no purpose at all. It's like a they're just sitting around doing nothing and like being hilarious.
I mean, I'll give them credit for the pistol part, where they're like, "Oh, I never keep it loaded," and they're all joking
Yeah,
around,
and like,
shooting
"Oh!"
like they're like
Shooting at his nuts.
they don't even know they're playing Russian roulette.
Basically, yeah.
So I like that part. But I mean, this is like it's like any comedy, you know, because I like Jim Carrey. A lot of people may not like him because he's just like some crazy off the wall type guy.
Goofball.
Will Ferrell, I feel like people could say the same thing. Like you either like him or you really don't. He's kind of iffy for me. Like I like him in some things, and other things I really can't stand him. But you already said the part when he's like defending his own team so they don't score 125 points. That's probably my favorite part.
It's
Because there's
probably
like there's
the best
actual
funny.
reason for it. There's reason of why he's doing that. And that's why it's funny to me. And then just another part was the ending is when the commissioner offers like over his dead body that Jackie's going to have a position in the NBA to be on staff as the marketing director. And right when he says like over my dead body, you have this position, no doubt. And then he just gets the commissioner gets like mauled by the bear.
Which again,
That was like
this
foreshadow.
real life murder bear. This bear, yeah, it's very dangerous animal.
Oh, Dewey.
Spumoni, right? That's the safe word. That's probably the guy in real life. He got killed probably because he didn't have the safe word. He didn't say but Spumoni, and that's why the bear killed him.
So what are there anything in this movie that you think doesn't work as far as like comedy or anything.
The whole Monix plot line with the girl is pretty weak. It's pretty boring.
Maybe.
I just wish I saw more like on court stuff, like you were saying.
Yeah,
that would have been more fun. Like more games against other teams.
Yeah, for me, it was just too much focus on like sexual content for laughs. I got kind of sick of that, sick of hearing that. I think it's just a cheap way to get people to laugh about dumb shit.
Yeah,
a lot of that too is like you're saying when they're just talking about like getting woman and like all that shit. Like they can't do that anymore either. Like this script, they probably wouldn't have made it into a movie because there's so many lines in there that are like degrading or just not like like the PC culture that everything is today. Mm-hmm. So like there's jokes in this movie that you could be like, damn, they don't write those jokes today. They're funny, but they don't write them anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. There was just a lot of stuff in here that I didn't find very funny, but that's everyone has their own opinions, right, with stuff. Because I liked this movie when I was younger, but I hadn't seen it for a couple of years, and I watched it, and I was like, oh my God, like I hate this movie. Like I wanted to see more of the basketball.
Yeah. Like that's definitely the most funny part, and I just think of taking Jackie Moon as a character and then having him like lead a team and just being a total idiot that barely knows how to play basketball. It's like, that's what I find the most funny, and just like the Flint Tropics is just hilarious.
I love the announcers too. Like,
yeah,
just
the
their
announcers
little,
are great.
They kind of get a little background as you go on, and they're pretty funny. Like Dick Pepperfield.
He's funny.
It's a great name.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel like with Will Ferrell specifically, a lot of people, if you like him, then you're gonna like this movie or like anything that he's in. Really, we already talked. I think like he plays the same kind of character in everything that he's in, basically. Which a lot of people do that. There's nothing wrong with that.
And it always works. Like Talladega Nights, Ricky Bobby and like Jackie Moon have a lot of similar qualities.
Yeah,
definitely.
But both hilarious.
And I like the premise of this movie. I really do. I love the ABA. I think it's very interesting, the merger into the NBA. I think making it into a comedy is a great idea as well. I don't know how to go about it.
Setting it in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, I love that. Like, but for just how I experienced it, I don't know how you would make it better to please me. But there's more people to please out there than just myself. But yeah, I'm just not sure. I enjoyed how they went about the comedy in this one as much as other people would. So, yeah, that's all I got.
I mean, everybody's got their agreements and disagreements, but I'll have to say I'm a huge fan of this movie. Definitely one of my favorite, like Will Ferrell. I'd probably have to give him like Step Brothers, like Elf. I really like that movie too. But yeah, just I'm a huge fan of Will Ferrell. I feel like every time, just like him doing whatever, I'll just start giggling because he's just a total goofball. And it just makes me laugh like all the time. Huge fan of Flint Tropics, like I said. I have a jersey. I'll rep that for a while.
Oh yeah,
now.
you do have a jersey, right?
Uh-huh.
That's right. Damn.
I'll be Jackie Moon.
I don't think I've ever seen you
It's
wear
stitched too.
Yeah.
It's stitched.
It's stitched. It's nice. I don't know. I've worn it a few times, maybe up at the lake, just to be out in the sun and stuff like that.
I don't know.
But semi-pro. I'm a fan. I'll keep watching it in the near future.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say. I'm gonna go 1.5 stars.
Holy shit, dude.
I'll go 3. 3 stars. What are you doing, Brian?
I'm gonna go 3 too. Maybe
I don't know how
maybe
you
like
don't
a
like
3.5.
I
Maybe
can't
even
believe
a
you don't think
3.5.
it's
I don't. It is funny. There are parts that make me laugh, but overall, like the movie, I just don't like the comedy that's in here. It's just
Too stupid.
Not that it's stupid. I like Dumb and Dumber. That's stupid humor, but like they at least like do play on words and stuff like that. This is just all sexual, and I can't get into it. Or that's what sticks out to me.
Okay.
Okay. You guys think it's funny for other reasons. I just can't get the.
I know what you're saying. There are a lot
of.
of sexual jokes in it. There are.
I mean, I think they're just making
but
fun of
then-
the time though. Like in the '70s, that's just how like,
true.
Oh, I'm a man, you're a woman.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. That's just like the stigma and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe they're attacking. I think it's really funny. I think like this is one I could sit down and probably watch whenever. I love the Flint Tropics.
Yeah.
I wish they were a real team.
I'd root.
I thought they were real.
I think they're hilarious. I mean, I know the team. So the G League team for the Pistons that plays outside Detroit, they wore the Flint Tropics uniforms once for like a gimmick, to get fans to come and like watch them play.
That's cool.
They should just make it full time. Like, I don't know,
Seriously,
they should
yeah.
just do that. It's hilarious. But yeah, I said 3 stars on this one. I love it. It's a really funny movie. Stay away from bears,
Please stay away from bears.
no matter how trained they are. That's another thing I learned from this. That's probably the biggest takeaway, honestly.
No matter what platform you're using to listen to us, I want it to be known that we're available on iTunes, YouTube, and Spreaker. You can also find us on Instagram at screenplay_junkie. If you like our content, please be sure to follow our channels so you can stay in the loop with new episodes and quick movie reviews. Feel free to give us a rating or drop us a comment on any of these mediums, Any feedback or interaction is greatly appreciated. Got any scripts you think we should read or movies we should review? Shoot us a message on our Instagram or email us at screenplayjunkie.show@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
On the next episode, we'll be talking about a film that is generally considered not to be a good movie, however, it made a lot at the box office. The 2014 horror film, Ouija. Thank you for listening. We hope you can join us next time.